What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fishing Grows. Today has been a long time in the making. Today we're doing our 1-year review on our NuCanoe Flint.
David's here, guys. We're going to get the yak. Fuck yeah.
Going from a bass boat to a kayak was a huge change, and I'm glad I went with the NuCanoe Flint because it was stable enough for me to continue to stand up and fish, and that to me is one of the most important things. I noticed a lot, especially when frogging last summer, that when I was sitting down, my hook sets just were not connecting, and as soon as I stood back up, I'd be hitting fish again, and I lost a couple big ones that way, so I learned my lesson pretty quick. One of the other things I've had to get used to is the fact that I'm not set up like a bass boat. You know, I can't hit a big lake and run across it with a motor in 15 minutes. I don't have any electronics on the kayak yet. They are definitely two different worlds, and that's where I'm coming from before we get into this review. Now, the first thing we're going to do in this review is we're going to go over the things that we dislike about the NuCanoe Flint. I like to be real, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the things I do like and then maybe even lie about the things that I don't like and tell you I like them. I'm here to speak my mind, tell you the truth, and hopefully help you make a decision on whether or not you want to make this sort of purchase. For me, in the long run, this kayak has been the best purchase I could have made. I am freaking pumped with it. So that being said, let's get on with it and tell you the things that we don't like. One of the first things I didn't like, and this is regardless of it being the NuCanoe Flint or any kayak for that matter, when you buy them stock, going from a bass boat to a kayak, I lost the ability to have a trolling motor in front of me with a foot controlled pedal that I could just zip around and do whatever I wanted without using my hands and fishing at the same time. Going to a kayak now, I am constantly having to use the paddle to position myself either every other cast or during a cast. Like, if it's windy, you're screwed. Like, I have to adjust myself while retrieving numerous times sometimes, and that to me is a huge downgrade. And going from a bass boat to a kayak, something that really has been trying for me, but I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to fish with it, which is something you learn how to do. Over the past year, it's been I've really gotten good at setting myself up with the wind and all that sort of stuff, but that's something we can go over later. The thing about this is there's a fix for this. For the NuCanoe Flint and all of their products, you can get a mount for the front of your kayak, and on that mount you can put a trolling motor with a quick release, so as soon as you're done off the water, you can just take the trolling motor off completely with just 2 clicks basically, and put that away before you store your kayak, either on top of your car like I do, or in the bed of your pickup truck, whatever. Your trolling motor's safe and off the kayak. Number 2, I finally have electronics that I got this winter, and I need to put them on the kayak. A few of my friends and a few of the videos that I've seen online, the kayaks have built-in spots to put transducers. My buddy has an entire pack that he can put his battery in as the transducer underneath it. He can put it in and out of his kayak at will. Super easy, insanely easy. I think that's one of the downfalls of the NuCanoe, is that they didn't put a place for a transducer in a good spot. I really personally would have loved to have one right in the middle underneath my kayak. But again, there's a fix for this as well. So there's a transducer arm. It's called the switchblade transducer mount, and this switchblade transducer mount basically, you know, hangs off the side of the kayak in the water. And actually the cool thing about it is that if you do hit a rock, the blade can swing up. So that's pretty cool. But again, I feel like, you know, maybe in the future, something they could think about is somewhere to like have a battery and transducer spot that is specific and built in and ready to go as soon as you buy the kayak. I think that's a great idea. So my third dislike, some of the floor on the kayak, as you can see here, is starting to peel up. Now I'm gonna glue that back down, but you know, it's only been a year and I got some of my flooring coming up. But again, there's a fix for that. If it did completely come up, you can buy a whole new flooring package. And if I did get a new flooring package, you know, you only put it on one little piece at a time. So if one piece came off, I could put one piece on and then save the rest for later, for if, you know, and when the flooring's toast. So I've seen a lot of videos, people talking about the NuCanoes, how great they are at tracking. Now, don't get me wrong, they are great at tracking. But when I'm throwing big baits, they're really not, especially if it's windy. So I think it's because the bait's so heavy and I'm like really trying to like sling them. So I'm putting a lot of force into it. I noticed that as I'm slinging the bait, I start to just like drift like the opposite way, and it's been kind of a pain in the butt. Especially, as I said, especially if it's windy. Now, the tracking when I'm paddling is freaking perfect, but when I'm fishing the big baits, it's it can be a little bit much. Again, where the trolling motor I think will really help with that. I'll be able to you know, do things hands-free. So my fifth dislike here, the seat, I'm gonna say is okay. I've tried a few other seats since getting my kayak, and there are some out there that are ridiculously comfortable. The thing is, mine's pretty comfortable. It's not like it's uncomfortable, but it gets uncomfortable because all the straps that are underneath and behind the seat, as you can see here, they come loose quite often, and so if I don't remember to tighten them up every once in a while, my butt will be like touching the like bottom. It just, like, the seat will sag and then things get uncomfortable, and I'm out in the water, and then it's difficult to, like, you know, get up, take the seat up and fix it so that the rest of the day isn't a mess. Lately I've been really keeping up on that, and the seat's great for the most part. The final thing for a dislike for me on the NuCanoe Flint, there's the horizontal rod holders that kind of go up the front of the kayak and like bend up. I really don't find a use for those, mostly because my rods are fairly long and they don't fit properly. So if I like stick the tip in the end there where it's supposed to go, I really can't fit my rod in where it's supposed to go. So that's my only other issue. Now let's get into the things we absolutely love about this kayak, because in my opinion it's one of the best out there. Alright, so the number one thing we love about this kayak is its stability is out of control good. Like, I'm talking just ridiculously good. I can put almost all my weight on one side and not flip. I've only had one instance where I flipped it. It was when I first got it, and I had dropped my phone in the drink, and I was searching for my phone because I'm an idiot. And then I thought I saw my phone, and I leaned like literally all the way over because the thing's so stable that I was trusting myself way too much. And I lost a ton of stuff, and it sucked, and I didn't find my phone. So, but that's a story for another time. In the wind, in the rain, while fishing, standing up like all day, I absolutely love this thing. It's an incredible vessel. Going from like borrowing some friends' kayaks that are not really made for fishing to going in this, it's out of this world. You can jump up and down on the thing. It is insanely stable. I spent some time in the Midwest last summer, and I'm fighting giant pike on this thing standing up in pads. This kayak, when it comes to stability, is top notch. Number 2, the ability to go anywhere. Now this comes with most kayaks, but like I have some friends that have some really freaking nice kayaks, and their kayaks are also really freaking heavy. The thing about the NuCanoe Flint is it is lightweight. It is 63 pounds. 63 pounds without the seat, of course. But you throw some wheels on that, you want to go out in the back country and hike out to a pond or something, you're talking a super lightweight, super stable kayak, and that's freaking huge. When I say you can put wheels on it, you can either go out and buy a set of wheels that strap on, or NuCanoe actually makes a set of wheels that go in the back hole here in the back of the kayak. You just put it right through, put a clip on it, and you're set to go anywhere. And that's freaking awesome. Fishing out of a kayak has literally changed my style of fishing during the day. I am a huge topwater fanatic, and I fish a ton at night because throwing big baits at night, as you know from my other videos, it pays off big time in the topwater department. Now, having the kayak, I can go into the thickest of pads and not worry about anything. I'm fighting fish in just surrounded by pads, and a bass boat that was so annoying. And now, with the kayak, it's like a freaking breeze. I can sit in the pads all day long. It's actually one of my favorite things to do, no matter what the weather. Number 3, there's tracks on this thing everywhere for mounting capabilities. There are tracks on the front, there are tracks under the seat, there's tracks in the middle, there's tracks in the back. And you can literally choose from an array of upgrades that can be thrown on these things. The yak attack, rod holders to anchor systems, you name it, you can throw it on this thing. Super easy. Number 4, it's also ready to install any type of motor, from, like I said earlier, the trolling motor in the front to a trolling motor in the back. You can mount a power pole in the back if you want, but something that's really cool with all the NuCanoes is that you can slap on an actual motor. You are set up to run like a freaking outboard motor in these things, which is just wild to think about. Like, even I've been fishing on mine forever, and just to think about having like a few horsepower motor in the back of that, just like tearing things up, is crazy. Number 5, it drains incredibly fast, like super fast. I've never ever even thought about having an issue with draining. It has 8 scupper and this track system that runs throughout the entire kayak that helps it drain ridiculously fast. We're gonna have to test some things out. Like, once I do get a trolling motor for it and put all the gear on it that I'm gonna be getting for it, we're gonna have to get some scupper plugs, I'm sure, and there's probably gonna be moments where we have to pull those plugs and bail out a little water, and we're really gonna have to put that thing to the test. I'm excited for that because all the videos I've seen online are epic. Like, I've seen people just like literally sitting in insane storms, their trolling motor on spot lock, and just killing it. Number 6, there's about 1 billion things that they built into this kayak for you, and I'll just go over them real quick. You have the hog trough channel built in. You have built-in rod storage in the back. You have 3 built-in cup holders. In the back, you have a spot where you can put your crate, or you can get the backpack by Yak Attack, and that screws right into the rail system and will never fall off your kayak, which is really cool. That means you won't lose it if you get tipped. You got built-in paddle keepers on the sides. Just pop your paddle right into these things if you need to put your paddle away for a second, or if you're using a trolling motor, you'll still have your paddle for if you're in the pads or doing some really short water. You have the built-in handle on the front. You had a handle that came with the back that I took off. You have the built-in foot pegs, and you have a rear storage hatch. The price on this thing, MSRP, is $999. There's actually a link. You can go purchase it on Amazon if you'd like, or you could go to the NuCanoe website and find a dealer nearest you. And to me, that price is unbelievable for what this kayak can do. And number 8, the memories that you make getting a kayak. I don't care if it's the NuCanoe, or if you go out and get an Old Town, or if you go out and get a Bonafide. I don't care what kayak you get. You're going out and getting a kayak. You're going to make some incredible memories, and that's really the best part about it. Go out there and catch you some fish.